Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's 7 o'clock, so we'll get started. You can get settled in on your mat. As always, however is comfortable for you is great. The whole purpose of the few beginning moments together on our mats is just starting to let go of our days, let go of all the busyness of the mind, and really just settling into the moment. So being patient with yourself as you're setting up here, noticing if the body is asking for movement, is maybe getting the wiggles out. And oftentimes these first moments of class and how we respond to them can give us information about our current state. So maybe just taking note of that. Is it difficult for you to be present right now? And when it is difficult for us to be present, that's usually the times where we need to give ourselves those moments of rest, of care, of checking in. When we check in, we can help ourselves combat those reasons why maybe we're feeling a little unsettled. And conversely, maybe you're feeling a lot of ease as you settle in. That's giving you feedback about the things that you are maybe doing right to help support yourself. So wherever you are, however you're feeling, just bringing your awareness to the breath. Let's all start to deepen our inhalations in and lengthen our exhalations out. So maybe if you're breathing in for the count of 4, you might be exhaling for the count of 5 or 6. And as we deepen the breath, we're thinking about movement all throughout our upper body. So inhaling in, your chest is rising, your belly's rising. Maybe your ribs are also pushing out to the side. Maybe you're feeling the back of the rib cage press into the ground. And then controlling exhales out. In this moment, offer yourself grace for wherever you are. Release any judgments. Making the commitment to come back to your breath when the mind runs off, at least for the next 45 minutes we have here together on our mats. And after your next exhale, if you are seated, slowly make your way to rest onto your back body now. If you feel like your body's craving a big old stretch, we're just reaching the arms overhead, extending the feet to the bottom of the mat, making ourselves as long as we can here. On the exhale, bring your knees in towards your chest. Take a little rock side to side. Feeling the tissues of the back. gently being massaged against the floor. And from here, lower your feet to the earth. Knees are bent, feet hip distance apart. Bring your arms alongside your body. We'll start to ground down through the feet. So really press them down. You might even feel your leg muscles start to engage a little bit here. Maybe the angle of the pelvis changes a little. And we'll press, lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Hold at the top here, really engage the glutes. And when you add that engagement, see if you can feel the opening across the front of the hips. On your exhale, slowly roll down the spine. Your hips will land last. As we move through again, this time option to add in motion of the arms. So as you press into the feet and lift the hips, maybe your arms reach up towards the ceiling and then over back behind you. So overhead. We're holding at the top, still engaging the glutes. Maybe you even think about dragging your heels in towards your body. Exhale, slowly lower down. You can roll the spine or move in one movement and bringing arms back alongside your body if they were overhead. And press down, rise up, maybe arms sweep overhead, hold. Not the breath though. Exhale, lower. We'll bring the knees back in towards the chest. Sometimes that can feel good on the lower back after that effort. Lift your feet up towards the ceiling. So we're lengthening through backs of the legs here. Maybe you want to move the ankles, getting any stiffness out of the way here. So you might point and flex, you might circle, whatever feels good for you. And keeping the legs up, interlace your fingers around the back of the head or at the back of the neck, whatever feels good for you. We're going to press down through the mid to lower back. So you might already feel that engagement starting to happen. Maybe you want to stay here, or you can start to lift your nose up towards the ceiling. So that might be head, neck, shoulders lifting. We'll hold here. Try not to hold your breath. Sometimes it can be a bit of instinct, but we want to keep bringing that good oxygen into the body, into the muscles. Slowly, slowly start to roll the spine down. And you can take a relaxing breath here. We'll do that again. Press down through mid to lower back. Start to lift the nose up. Head, neck, maybe shoulders lift and hold. Slowly lower yourself back down. Again, maybe giving yourself a nice big exhale to release. Press down through mid-back, lift the nose. Maybe lifting shoulders up, holding. Exhale, lower. Bring your knees in towards the chest. However you want to get there, we'll slowly make our way to seated. So maybe that's rocking up and down the spine. Maybe that's making your way onto your side body first. And then landing, we'll sit cross-legged for now. Maybe cross the legs from the opposite way you usually do. When you're ready, start to rock forward off your sitting bones. So your sitting bones are going to go back behind you, belly forward, chest is forward, look up. Exhale, moving the opposite way, rounding the spine, looking down. Just moving through a few rounds of your seated cat-cows, just like this. And just like we do from a traditional cat-cow, the movement starting at the pelvis and then the spine is flowing and following. Maybe bringing the shoulders in here, rounding them forward as you round. And then when you send the heart forward, squeezing shoulder blades back behind you. You can notice here which way your spine naturally likes to go more. For a lot of us, especially if we sit a lot, it'll probably want to round forward. And that's why moving through both directions is good. And come to a neutral spine. Extend your legs out in front of you. We'll take a moment just to move any lingering energy we have in the body. So maybe for you, that looks like shaking out arms and legs. Or maybe that looks like tapping your hands on your body, down the arms, on the chest, the belly, the legs, all the way down to the feet. Just thinking about getting any of that stagnant energy out, allowing yourself to be present. And we'll find stillness. And cross at the ankles, bring the hands in front of you, and we'll move right into a downward dog. Take a few moments, pedal out the legs, maybe sway hips side to side. We're starting to wake up the back of the body. Find stillness. Use your inhale to reach your right leg up and back behind you. Bring your knee in towards your chest, look forward, step or help foot through between the hands. We'll bend the back knee, lowering it to the earth. Inhale to lift up, low lunge. We'll add a bit of movement here. So on the exhale, send your hips forward and down. And then we'll press into the right foot, moving back up. Doing that 2 more times. This movement might be really minuscule. Finding a depth that feels good for you. Once more, send hips forward and down. A lift back up. Exhale, lower your hands down to frame the front foot. You might tent left fingers here, or maybe bring a block under your hand. We're going to reach the right fingers forward, up and back, creating a big circle, holding here in your twist. Slowly bring your right hand forward. Tuck the back toes, lifting your knee. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Get really engaged here. Draw the legs in towards the midline. Inhale, feel length through the spine. Exhale, twist towards the right. So right fingers are coming back, left fingers forward, maybe looking back at right thumb. Inhale, slowly come back up through center. On the exhale, lower your hands down to frame your front foot. Step right foot back to meet the left. Find your expression of plank. So knees lifted or lowered. Exhale, bend your elbows lower through chaturanga. Inhale, find baby cobra. If you're feeling warm through the spine, maybe finding a full upward dog. Exhale, slowly make your way back to downward dog. We'll take your breath in through the nose. Open the mouth side out, let it go. Inhale, sweep your left toes up and back. Exhale, bring your knee in towards the chest, lift it high, look forward. Step or help foot through between your hands. Soften right knee to the earth. Inhale, lift up, low lunge. When you're ready, we'll add our movement. So exhale, allowing hips to soften forward and down. So you're lunging further into your left knee. And then pressing into that foot, lift yourself back up. Moving through that 2 more times with your breath. No rush. When you're done, exhaling to lower hands down, maybe propping up the right hand. Left fingers reach forward, up and back, big circle, holding in your twist. And you might look back at the left thumb here. Notice what the breath is doing. Notice if it's present. Big sweeping circle of the arm as it comes back to frame your left foot. Lift your back knee, rise up, crescent lunge. Active through the legs here, draw everything in towards the midline. Inhale, feel the length through your spine. Exhale, rotate towards your left, arms come out in line with the earth. Maybe looking back at left thumb if that feels good for you. And if you wobble a little bit or you fall, laughing it off, knowing it's okay. Inhale, come through center, arms rise up. Exhale, lower hands down, step left foot back. Your choice here if you want to flow through or move right to a downward dog. Taking a few mindful breaths to reset when you land. So for you, you want to take child's pose or a sip of water. That's your choice. From downward dog. So if you're not there, shifting back now. Inhale, right toes sweep up. Exhale, bend your knee, bring it in towards the nose, holding here. So you can even look back towards your knee, hugging it tight in towards the chest. Inhale, lift back up, 3-legged dog. This time we'll bend the knee, open and stack the hips. So your knee is pointing up towards the ceiling here, trying to ground evenly through both hands. The square off the hips, guide knee in. This time step forward through between your hands. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Interlace fingers around the back of the head. We're opening elbows wide. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, rotate right. Keep drawing the shoulder blades back, opening elbows to the sides. Inhale, guide yourself back through center. Imagine there's a string connected from the sternum up towards the ceiling, being lifted as the heart opens, gaze lifts. I like to think of this pose as being energetically open, energetically hopeful, maybe tapping into those feelings. Come back to neutral spine. We'll bring hands to connect to the heart. Shift forward into the right foot. You might drag left toes in here. Press the earth away with your right foot. So just like we did in our bridge pose. When you're ready, you can play with floating the back leg, bowing heart. We're trying to keep that as one line. Stay active through the back leg. So press out through that foot. Steady breath. Slowly rise up to stand, release left foot alongside right, lower hands alongside the body, coming to Tadasana, mountain pose. Maybe taking a full breath in here, sighing it out through the mouth. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Maybe look up towards thumbs here. Flip your palms, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen spine halfway. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step or hop feet to the back of the mat, finding plank. Again, your option here if you'd like to flow or move right into a downward dog. From downward dog, we'll check in with the hands here, making sure we have a nice sturdy base. So grounding down through all four corners of the hand. Fingers are wide and energetic. Inhale, float your left leg up. Exhale, bring the in towards the nose. Hug your leg in towards your chest here. Keep pressing the earth away. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your knee, open and stack hips. See if you can keep lifting knee up towards the ceiling as you evenly ground through both hands. Square off your hips, bring your knee back in, step your foot forward. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge. Give yourself a moment to get settled. Interlace fingers around back of the head, elbows open wide. Feel length in your spine. Exhale, rotate towards the left. On your inhale, come back through center. When you're ready, start to lift your heart, lift your gaze. You can feel the support of your hands on the back of the head, support of your shoulder blades to the back of the heart. Allowing yourself to accept that support. Slowly come through neutral, bring hands to connect to the heart. Start to shift your weight forward into the left foot. The right toes might first drag in before moving into warrior three. We're engaged through both legs, so left foot pressing into earth, right foot pressing back, drawing in through the core. Slowly rise up to stand, release the right foot. If your body feels like it wants to shake, let it have a shake that all out. If your body wants stillness, moving right to Tadasana. Practicing your inner listening, offering yourself what it needs. We'll all meet in Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, sit your hips back as though you're sitting in a chair. Weight is shifted back into the heels. Try not to hold the breath here. When we catch ourselves in these moments of holding the breath in our physical practice, we can notice when we're doing it in times of stress or high emotion in our lives, and then we can tap back into the breath to help calm ourselves down. So everything we practice on the mat is helpful off of the mat. Exhale, lift the hips, round, forward, forward, fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step your feet back. Option to move through one final flow of chaturanga. Back bend, downward dog. We'll all meet in a downward dog, no rush. From downward dog, deep bend in the knees, lower them down to the earth. Walk your hands in, lift your torso. So you come to a kneeling position, shoulders over hips, hips over knees. We'll be moving through a series of camel pose. So if you know you like to use blocks behind you and you have them at home, you can grab those now. Your choice if you want to tuck the toes or press through shoelace side, personal preference. Bring your hands to the lower back and then slide down just a little bit. If you had jeans on and back pockets, you can imagine just half of the fingers in your back pockets, elbows draw together, shoulder blades draw together. When you're ready, start to first feel length in the spine. So maybe for you, this looks like tailbone tucking, top of the head lifting high towards the ceiling. This can be your camel pose if this feels good for you. Otherwise, we'll start to actively lift the heart, lift the gaze. Maybe for you, it feels good to send the hips forward. Maybe it feels good to engage the glutes. As elbows draw back, maybe feeling the opening across the heart. And again, trying not to hold the breath. Slowly come back through to neutral. If you want to find any movement here, you can. So maybe that looks like sitting hips back. Maybe that's big circles of the arms. Maybe a quick cat cow. We'll set up for our second round. Hands come back to the small of the back, elbows drawing back, When you're ready, start to lift the heart, lift the gaze. If you feel like your body is wanting to move deeper into the pose and that's going to feel good for you today, you can reach the fingers back, maybe finding blocks and maybe backs of heels. But really listening to your body, finding what feels good. And thinking about lifting through the front of the body rather than just dumping back. So that engagement can help with this as well. We'll slowly come back up through neutral. Again, maybe finding any counter movements here that might feel good in the body. Ready for one more round. Hands come to small of the back. Nice long spine. When you're ready, lift the heart. Lift your gaze. You can think about tapping into the expansiveness here of the physical heart, maybe thinking about opening energetically through the heart as well. Slowly, carefully start to bring yourself back through a neutral spine. We'll all tuck our toes if they're not already. Sit your hips back onto heels. Check if any of the little toes are trying to splay out or are not tucked under, just bringing them in. This can feel really intense on the bottom of the feet. So you're welcome to lean your hands forward onto knees or maybe onto the earth in front of you. And we're tapping into our breath, our long exhales as we breathe through. Release any other tension that might be creeping up here. So softening the grip of the teeth, relaxing your facial muscles. Move through one more breath here. Slowly bring your hands to the earth in front of you. Untuck your toes. Tap out the bottom of the feet. Find stillness. You can keep knees together or walk them to outer edges of the mat. Your choice. Send your hips back to your heels. Find a child's pose. If forehead doesn't connect to the earth, stacking fists underneath the forehead for support. Maybe bringing in any props you might have at home under the head or the body. As you land in your child's pose, notice how it feels to come into this opposite of all the heart opening that we've done through our practice. So maybe that's just feeling physically how it feels in your body. Noticing if there's a shift in your energy. Noticing if there's a shift in the mind. As we make changes and transitions, sometimes we hope that we'll move at the same pace as those transitions. And sometimes our body just needs, and our mind just needs a little bit of time to adjust, and we need to allow that for ourselves. So as you settle in here, as we shift into our yin, coming back to the breath, coming back to gentleness and kindness for yourself, You're finding comfort in the stillness, steadiness in the stillness. Inviting a little bit of movement here, rocking from side to side, shifting into one hip and then the other. Slowly walk your hands in towards your knees, lifting torso. Sit onto one hip, swing your legs around in front of you. Slowly make your way to rest onto your back body. We'll bend knees with feet planted. Lift your right foot, bringing knee to the outside of right ankle on left thigh just below the knee, finding your figure 4. You can stay here or guide knees in towards the chest. Option to land in stillness here. Maybe you find a gentle rock side to side, whether that left foot is lifted or grounded, you can do this. If you haven't already, you might allow your eyes to close, helping bring your awareness inward. If your left foot is lifted, guide it to the earth now. Your hands can rest on your belly or come out to the sides. Using exhale, slowly lower your legs to the left. So you're moving into a twist. Your right foot can land on a block, a bolster, a pillow, whatever you have at home. Or if it feels better for you to bring knees together and come out of the figure 4 shape, you're welcome to do that as well. On your next inhale, slowly bring the knees back through center. Uncross the right leg if it's still crossed. And we'll set up for figure 4 on the other side. And maybe finding gentle movement side to side if that feels good for you. If your right foot is lifted, slowly guide it to the earth. Option to keep your figure four shape or to bring left knee alongside right. Use your exhale to guide yourself into your twist. Your next inhale guides your legs back through center. Uncross the left leg and slowly guide yourself into your Shavasana, whatever that looks like for you. Allowing yourself to get really comfortable. If the eyes have not closed, allowing them to close now. Let yourself feel really supported by the ground beneath you. With each exhale, let yourself settle into this support, into the moment a little bit more. My voice will guide us back when our Shavasana, our rest is complete. Gently begin to guide your awareness back to your physical body and your physical surroundings. Invite gentle movement and energy, starting small and slowly increasing movement. Gently guide yourself to a comfortable seated position, tall spine, open heart. Inhale, roll your shoulders up and back. Inhale, arms sweep all the way overhead. Exhale, bring your hands in to connect to your heart. calling in a moment of gratitude for this practice, the community shared here, and the connection cultivated within each one of ourselves. And from my heart to yours, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week and a lovely weekend, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you,